Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery experience at the hospital with my baby girl. So to start off, my baby was due June 12th and she came June 7th, which I was thrilled about because I was just so ready for her to get here. So June 2nd is the day when I started feeling contractions, and they were really small, minor contractions. They felt like cramps, so I didn't really take it as serious. I mean, it wasn't really anything. I was just like, babe, I'm starting to feel something and I think she's gonna come early. So I was excited and I was nervous at the same time. So Saturday, small cramping. I was still at work feeling the cramps, but no big deal. Sunday, same thing, at work feeling cramps, nothing serious, it was fine. And then Monday the 4th, I started feeling a little bit of contractions, but they weren't as intense to where I was feeling very uncomfortable. I mean, they hurt a little bit, but I was able to go through the pain. Alright, so that day passed by, and then it's Tuesday, June 5th, and I'm sorry, those are my dogs outside. Tuesday, June 5th, my cramps start getting a lot worse. So they're coming closer together. I can't remember exactly how close they were coming by that time, but they were coming closer together. They were a lot more intense than they were those past few days, because like I said, it was just cramping, nothing really serious. And then that day, like I told you guys, I've never been pregnant before, so this is my first time being pregnant, and I really did not know what to expect when it came to contractions or anything like that. I've just been told by friends that they may feel like cramps, they may feel like a really sharp pain, it may feel like a cramping that's twisting and all this stuff, but I really did not know what to expect. So until Tuesday, where I was like, okay, I'm definitely having contractions. These are getting worse and it's kind of getting hard to breathe, but I can still talk through my contractions, so it wasn't that bad. But to me, since I've never been pregnant before, I felt like it was really bad. So that day I went ahead and told my mom, I was like, you know, these contractions are really hurting. I think we need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital and they checked me, and I was 70% effaced, which means that my cervix was still opening, not really all the way open. So that being said, I was bummed out. I thought she was gonna come that day. False alarm. She wasn't coming that day. I was just in pain. Alright, so Wednesday comes along. I'm in pain all day. I'm pushing through the pain because the contractions are coming more frequent, but not as frequent as they're supposed to come in order for you to go to the hospital. So I bear through the pain that day. And then it's Thursday and it's midnight and my contractions are coming a lot closer, and it's getting to the point where I could not walk during a contraction. It was a point to where I was crying through my contractions. I was doing everything that I could to help ease the pain, but none of that was really working. So some of the stuff that I was doing at home was doing different positions. I was leaning against my crib, leaning against my bed, leaning against any type of furniture, and walking or weight shifting from side to side to see if that will help with my contractions. I was bouncing on the yoga ball, stretching, leaning forward on the yoga ball. I was moving my pelvis around the yoga ball to see if that will help alleviate some of the pain. And I mean, some of that would help a little bit, but not much. One thing that really did help though was when my mom came in and she was massaging my back. She was massaging my lower back and really going in when the contractions would start coming in. So that really helped. She and my boyfriend took turns doing that, but my mom, of course, did a lot more of the massaging. She probably did that for like an hour and a half. She was really awesome for doing that. That helped, but didn't really help completely. I was still in a lot of pain, and like I said, the contractions were coming a lot more frequent. I just couldn't even breathe through the contractions anymore. I was just crying and so much pain, to the point where my boyfriend was like, okay, it's time to grab your stuff, we gotta go to the hospital, you are just in too much pain and I can't take it anymore. So we all got ready, we grabbed my stuff, we grabbed the baby stuff, my boyfriend grabbed his stuff, my mom grabbed her stuff, and we just all went to the hospital. Luckily, thank God, the hospital was literally like 3 minutes down the road, so it wasn't a far drive at all. So I got there, I registered in at the front, and they went and took me up to the OBGYN emergency department. So I went to the emergency department, and they took me to the room. The nurse came in, she was nice. She talked to me a little bit, and she went ahead and took my vitals, and then she went ahead and did some fetal monitoring on the baby to make sure everything was okay. So I was in the ED room for I think maybe 4 hours, 3 hours, almost, well, 4 hours. So I got at the hospital at 3. After everything, I got checked in and all that. I was upstairs by like 3:15. And the doctor came in and introduced herself. She checked me to see how dilated I was, and at that time I was 90% effaced, and I was 3 centimeters dilated, I believe it was that she said. I can't remember completely, but I think that's what she said. So she said in order to move to the L&D room, you have to be at least 5 centimeters dilated, and I wasn't there yet. So luckily they said that I could wait 2 more hours, and in 2 hours she'll come back and check to see if I was at least 5 centimeters dilated, and if I was not, then I would go home. So 2 hours passed by. I think 2.5 hours actually passed by, and it was like 6:30, 6:45. She came back and she checked me, and I was 5 centimeters dilated. So they were gonna go ahead and transfer me to the L&D room, but unfortunately, when they were getting me ready to go, 2 other women came in, and they were 9 centimeters dilated, so they were pretty much ready to give birth. So I had to wait till another room opened up because all the rooms were taken. So I had to wait probably like 15 to 20 minutes longer until everyone was ready, which I was pleased because it could have took longer, but it didn't. So after that, they went ahead and transferred me to the L&D room, which I was so glad, because the ED room was really tiny, and I was trying to move around, and it was literally like a little box. So they moved me to the L&D room, and I had a really great nurse. I had told her that, you know, I want to have a natural birth, and I don't want to take any pain medication or have the epidural. So she was pretty supportive of that. She never pressured me to take any of the pain medications or to take the epidural. She actually gave me some suggestions on different positions that I can do to help alleviate the pain, which were similar to the ones I did at home. And she actually was the one that introduced me to the tub. She was like, do you want to try it? And I was like, of course, I'll do anything that will help alleviate the pain. So I've actually taken a bathtub at home. My bathtub is pretty big, so I've taken a bathtub at home, and that has helped before, but mind you, that was before I had these really big contractions coming on. So I got into the tub, and I laid in there. The tub was really big. It was really nice. It did help a little bit, but those contractions were still really painful. And I also did try some breathing techniques to help with the pain. Didn't really help much either. She's also suggested, you know, doing the yoga ball, sitting on a yoga ball, leaning on the bed, moving my pelvis around like I did at home. She also suggested me to get on the bed, but to stand on my knees and lean forward on the head of the bed to help with the contraction pain. That really didn't help at all. I tried laying side to side. That didn't help. So I was in this pain. I was trying my hardest to have a no pain medication or epidural birth, but everything doesn't go as planned. So I went through all this pain probably for, I got there at 3. It was like, I think around 10 something when I took the pain medication. So, or 11. I took the pain medication, and after the first dose, I didn't feel any of the pain. The contractions were a lot less painful than they were before I didn't take any pain medication. So I was really relieved, and the pain medication probably lasted like 30 to 40 minutes, and then after that it wore off. And after it wore off, the contractions came back and I was in pain again, and I was like, oh my god, I just want this to be over with. I just want her to come so I don't feel this anymore. After that, I asked for another dose. She said I had to wait, I think 20 to 30 minutes to pass by so she'll be able to give me another dose. So after that, the 20-30 minutes passed by, she gave me another dose, and like she had said, it really didn't help at all. Unfortunately, I tried to bear the pain for a little bit longer. I think for like an hour more I was bearing with the contractions, and then I was contemplating. I was like, should I take this epidural, should I not? I was talking to my boyfriend, and he was like, you know, I'm here for you. You know, I was really trying to support you doing the whole natural thing. We both really wanted to do it. But he was like, you're in just so much pain that I just think that you should consider the epidural. It'll probably help you feel a lot better. He was like, I've never seen you in this much pain before, and you're a very strong woman. Which I was really glad he was there to tell me that, because I just felt like I just couldn't do this anymore. So eventually I decided to take the epidural, and the doctor came in, he gave it to me, and within like a few minutes later, I didn't feel any contractions anymore. And I was just so relieved because I did not feel that pain anymore. So I would just look at the screen, and the nurse would be like, look, you're having a contraction. And I'm like, oh my god, seriously? I do not feel anything. Like, it was great. And I was just like, in my head I was like, why didn't I just take this earlier? Why did I suffer through all this? And mind you, after going through all this, I had only dilated 1 centimeter since the time I was transferred to the LND to the time I got the epidural, which was like around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And after that, my water still hasn't broke, so my nurse called the doctor and was like, look, we're gonna break your water. After that, everything started moving. I started dilating a lot more. The doctor had came and checked on me, I think it was like maybe 30 to an hour after they broke my water, and I was now at 7 to 8 centimeters, somewhere in between there. So after that, the nurse was like, okay, we're gonna get this rolling. She went ahead and brought out the peanut ball. She had laid me to my side. She had put my top leg over the peanut ball to kind of help open my cervix and get everything ready. When she did that, I really felt the pressure. Like, I started feeling the contractions, but they weren't painful. It's just pressure that I started feeling coming down. So that meant that the baby was getting ready to come out, which I was so excited, but I was so nervous at the time. After laying in that position for 20 minutes, she went ahead and moved me to the other side to help open it up some more. And after that, I was laying on that side, I think for like 10 minutes. She checked again to see where I was, and she was like, yep, it's time, you're dilated enough. And she got her table ready, and she was like, all right, we're getting ready to deliver this baby. Are you ready? I'm going to tell you how to breathe and just go to my count. So how you're supposed to breathe, you're actually supposed to hold your breath and push as hard as you can for 10 seconds. And mind you, these 10 seconds to me felt like 20 seconds because of the way she was counting. So she was counting, but in between those counts, she was talking to me as well, and then she would pick up from where she left off counting. So she would, for example, she would go like 1, 2, okay, you're doing a great job, 3, 4, all right, keep pushing harder, 5, 6. So those 10 minutes to me felt like 20 minutes. So it felt really long, especially trying to hold your breath and push for 10 seconds was hard for me. So after that, we did that for a little bit, and I think we were doing that maybe for like 5 minutes. And then after that, my baby started crowning, and after the baby started crowning, she went ahead and pushed the button. She called all the doctors in, and after that, it really started rolling. So I had a team of doctors there during my labor and delivery. And so anyways, they all came in and they were all there supporting me, and especially the nurse telling me that I'm doing great. And she was like, oh, the baby's coming, oh my god, the head's out. And I'm telling you, once I felt, like, you can feel it, like, you don't feel the contractions, but you feel that pressure of the baby coming out of you, which is a lot painful. And I'm sorry if I get a little bit too graphic for you guys, but this is my experience. So, and I want to tell you guys how my experience went for those that want to know. It literally felt like my baby was coming out of my butthole, and I kept telling them, I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm about to poop, like, oh my god, I feel like she's coming out of my butthole. And the nurse was there supporting me and saying, it's okay, it doesn't matter, I know that's how it feels, just keep pushing, you're doing a great job. And I kept saying that, like, over and over again, because I was like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, I feel like she's coming out of my butthole. So, but it was just the pressure of her coming out. And after 20 minutes of pushing, she finally came out, and you guys, it was like the best experience ever. I saw her come out, and I just had her in my hands. Of course, I did skin to skin because I wanted to have that emotional attachment with her, and I just want to have that special bonding with her for the first hour or so. And of course they asked me, and I was like, yes, of course, I want to do skin to skin. And they wiped her off a little bit, and they put her on me, and she was just there on my chest for like an hour. And I'm getting a little emotional because it was like such a great experience to experience, and just to hold her and know that I created that. Well, my boyfriend and I created that, but that she grew inside of me, and that she came out of me is like one of the great experiences ever. So after bonding with her and learning how to breastfeed, and which was a little bit of a struggle, but she finally learned, just bonding with her and, like I said, breastfeeding, just looking into her eyes, or trying to look into her eyes, because her eyes were still very, very small. But you guys, I had a really strong baby. Like, as soon as she came out, she was trying to hold her head up to see like the world, which I thought was amazing. But I had her skin to skin, and it was such a great feeling. After bonding with her for a while, the nurse came in, and of course she had to take her away from me and just check her vitals again, make sure she's breathing fine on her own, making sure that her lungs are working properly, and checking her Apgar scale and all that. So that was one of the most amazing experiences that a woman can experience. So after I delivered my baby, they were pressing down on my stomach and to making sure that they were getting all the excess stuff that was out, the amniotic sac, the amniotic fluid, and all that to come out. And they were also pressing down to make sure that I wasn't hemorrhaging, and making sure that everything will get back to normal within time. So after they did that, they moved me to the recovery room 2 hours later. Oh, by the way, my baby was in the room the whole time. They never took her out. I did not want her to leave my room. I just wanted her to be there with me the whole time. And the only time she wasn't on me was when they had to do the checkup on her, which was in the little bed right next to me. So she did not leave my room. She did not leave my sight. So 2 hours later, I was in the recovery room, and honestly, once I gave birth to my baby, I was just so ready to go home and spend time with her. But of course, you need time to recover. Your body just went through that big change, and through all that hard work of delivering such a beautiful baby, they just took my vitals. I had quite a few different nurses. My lactation consultant came in to talk to me about breastfeeding, if I had any questions, if I had any concerns, and all that good stuff. So I got some good information on breastfeeding and how to hold my baby and how to bond and all that stuff, which was great. They did some more checking of my stomach to make sure that everything was going back to normal, making sure that I wasn't hemorrhaging. And of course, they were also taking vitals of my baby to make sure she was doing fine. They gave her some shots. They were making sure that her lungs were still developing well, and they were still checking her Apgar scale, making sure that she wasn't jaundiced, and all that stuff. We bathed her the next day just because we wanted to have that skin-to-skin contact for at least 12 hours before they bathed her. And for my ladies, you will, and this is a little bit graphic, so I apologize if this is something you don't want to hear. You can skip over this. But for my ladies, after giving birth, your area down there is not going to be the same. You will have bleeding for quite a while, and of course your nurse will talk to you and let you know how you can take care of all that to make sure it's healing properly. So I just want to give you guys a heads up if you are a soon-to-be mom about what will happen afterwards. And you guys, that is pretty much my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling you guys about my experience. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, you guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will be notified of when I upload videos to my channel. Alright, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.